And then as things get progressively closer and closer to the next step of more stars, more zones, and all that, we're going to have to start relying more on combat missions. Um, so what that means is I'll just do a quick go through of kind of like the ideal comps for each of the first three planets, right? So for Mustafar, Lord Vader is the only one you can use on Mustafar, right? Um, then you have like a Sith Empire or a Sith team under C if you have them, Malgus if you don't, right? This works pretty well because you need to um, be blowing up all those stupid B2 battle droids and then nuking the droideka. Mustafar 3 works really well with First Order. And then for those who have just unlocked Grand Inquisitor, Inquisitors are amazing all the way up through Relic 7 um, content. So they can actually kill their own, um, clear 1 to 2 waves on Mustafar on their own. Coruscant Jedi, JMLS works best because you want to keep Kenobi with the Galactic Republic for their own combat mission. And then CLS works really good for the last one. Um, but like you should have no issues getting through the first wave. Then it's RNG if the whole team gets dazed and then they start dumping um, the stun and then insta kill on CLS in phase 2 while you've got a bunch of dazes. You're out of it. Afra, well, we've got 2, right? So don't worry about Afra. The reason Jabba is so awesome in Rise of the Empire is he ends up just soloing on basic uh, everything all the way up to the Relic 7. So you put whatever you can with him, put it on auto basic, and then he'll just keep stacking up protection until he hits the ultimate. It takes forever, but it doesn't actually take any effort. Um, the C Mara Starkiller team is great on Corellia because after the first wave, they never get another turn. Then we get into the Relic 6. Nexu, basically, Kylo Ren solos the whole thing by himself. You just put whatever fillers you can stick in with him. Reek, again, the Inquisitors work really well. If you have Lord Vader, you can drop Eighth Brother, put Lord Vader lead, and that's amazing. And then Acolyte, make sure you have Watt in with C. Um, if you're gonna throw C at this, just because C will survive a bit longer that way. Moving over to Braca. So for the Braca Jedi, it really helps. Actually, basically, really need Shock T because she'll cleanse. Oh, that's Coruscant. Uh, the big one for this one is Bastila and JMK, keeping as many ability blocks on, or JML, keeping as many ability blocks as you can on the Purge Troopers, keeping them stunned, and then basically walking your way through it. Uh, GML's middle special is great, the one that reduces their cooldowns and dazes them. Always rotate that through the Purge Troopers that haven't done their AoE special. And then Braca 2 with JPK Grand Republic. Padme really helps on this team because she gives them all the health and protection back. But you want to, instead of dropping the Kenobi insta kill cooldown reset on a cat, drop it on Kenobi and have your Kenobi slow if you can, because they'll just waste all of their bass assists, and then you can start working them down. Felucia Jabba, same thing. Like all you do is just let the whole team die, and then keep doing basics on Jabba until he keeps hitting his ults. Felucia Hondo, For the Hondo special mission, this one works okay. The problem with using Ray, and even if we go up to, like, I would much rather use a Ray team for Coruscant as well because it's less RNG, but really relies on Ben Solo, and Ben Solo ends up getting opt until the end of time. Right, so this team works pretty well. You're basically just trying to keep everybody immune for as long as possible, and then Felucia, the don't have anything specific mission. Um, this team works pretty good. Or if you have them above Relic 5, the um, Emperor Palpatine, Mara Jade, uh, nonstop turn meter is great. Then we get to Dathomir. Dathomir, um, any mission you're attempting either needs to have the revive protection, right? So Lord Vader, uh, or Watt, or SLKR. So I put Watt with Afra, and it trivializes this. Always put the tech on Vader, because Vader's going to be taking all those extra turns with Merciless Massacre. This one's self-explanatory, but you can only do this one once while we're sandbagging, because the second time, um, when at the end of phase 5 going into phase 6, we need all the Inquisitors to go do the Reva mission. But it also works okay if you just dump a bunch of crap with Lord Vader. And then the last one, for Dathomir, like I mentioned, is SLKR. Right? These aren't the only teams, and I know Bit Dynasty has a whole bunch of videos on this, but this is kind of also understanding that there aren't too many of us with all 7 Galactic Legends, but most people should have the Grand Inquisitor team now, and just under Grand Inquisitor, um, all the way up to Dathomir, this team should get you 2 of 2 on almost all of the waves.